Hi, it's Dee from SimplyDeeBeauty. Today's video is not going to be about makeup, it's going to be about sunscreen. Now I do have makeup on, and off the bat I do want to mention that I do have different eye looks because I just filmed a video using a new eyeshadow palette I got, and I wanted to use all the shades on the palette. So I'm going to put the link of that video at the end of this one if you guys are interested to know on what I have on my face. Now, full disclaimer, I am not a professional, I am not a dermatologist. Everything I'm going to say in this video is based on my personal experience and the research that I've done about the subjects. I'm going to put my sources down below in the description box for you guys to check it out and read the full information. I'm only going to highlight the things that I think are important and how it has affected me in my personal experience. So I think sunscreen is so important, not just for people like me that live in a very hot climate, very sunny climate. I live in South Florida. It's sunny all year round. It's also important for people that don't get a lot of sun too, because even natural light that comes in through the window or the blue light that you're exposed to from your phone, from your computer, you know, especially in these last months, last year, that some of us, not me particularly, but many people were in lockdowns or working from home. You spend so much time in front of a camera, in front of a phone, in front of that blue light that's not good for your skin either. So you should always wear sunscreen. Even on a cloudy day, you should always wear sunscreen. Now I'm going to talk about sunscreen that you put on your face, because since I am a beauty channel, I like to talk about luxury beauty and luxury makeup. I'm going to talk about just the face, but of course you should use protection anywhere that you're going to get sun or light exposure. Okay, so I have my notes here, my notes written, because I don't want to say anything that is not correct. But again, any questions you have, you should always consult a healthcare professional. So now that we got that out of the way, let's start talking about sunscreen. So sunscreen is products that you apply on your skin to either absorb the sun rays or reflect the sun rays. So there's a difference there. Some sunscreens absorb the ultraviolet lights and transform it. Those are the chemical sunscreens. And then there's a physical sunscreen which reflect it back out. I'm going to talk about the differences between chemical and physical sunscreen later on in this video. But first, protecting yourself from those UV rays, you're not only protecting yourself from skin cancer, which obviously should be the first thing on the list, your first concern, but it also protects you from like those ugly sunspots. We want to push back the aging process as long as we can possible. So by protecting your skin, you're also protecting your skin from aging, from premature skin aging. This is the word I was looking for. You should look for sunscreen that says broad spectrum SPF, at least 15 according to the FDA. But personally, this is my personal opinion, of course, I like to use 30 and above, 25 maybe, but I like to go 30 and above. Now, why broad spectrum? Well, because there's different wavelengths. Like the UV rays have different wavelengths. There's UVA and there's UVB. That's just depending on what wavelength it is. UVB is the one that primarily causes the sunburn, but you should protect yourself from both UVA and UVB rays because they both cause skin cancer and also premature aging on your skin. So you should protect yourself from both. And that's where broad spectrum comes in the equation, because broad spectrum means that it covers or protects you from both UVA and UVB sun rays, or UVB and UVA wavelength. Alright, so what's the difference between chemical and physical? Let's talk more about that. So a chemical sunscreen, it absorbs the UV wavelengths using chemicals, and then it transforms it into wavelengths that are not damaging to the skin. So that's where chemical comes along. It's really self-explanatory. It's a chemical sunscreen, so it transforms it chemically into another wavelength so it doesn't cause as much damage to your skin. Now, physical or mineral sunblocks sit on your skin. They're not absorbed into your skin. They sit on your skin. What they do is they reflect back those UV wavelengths. They send them back. It's like, imagine like they're like little mirrors all over your face, and they reflect back that light. Now, those are usually more expensive. The physical sunscreens are usually more expensive than the chemical ones. Usually they leave like this white sheen or this white cast on your skin. So what I do is I look for mineral sunscreen or physical sunscreens that even though they leave a white cast, it dissipates quickly, and in a few seconds, maybe a minute, it's gone and it dissipates and you don't see it. Those are the ones that I try to to look for. So those are the main differences between physical and chemical sunscreens. Now, the effectiveness of the sunscreen depends on different factors that we need to take into consideration. For example, not only if the sunscreen is water resistant, also if you follow the directions on the product, and also what type of skin you have. You should always protect yourself no matter what skin color you have, because the sun will still cause damage. But people with darker skin have more protection because of the melanin. So people that are like pale white or have according to the information that I found, people that have pale skin are blonde, red or light brown hair, and those who have been treated for skin cancer, which is obvious, it's just common sense, should use more protection or be more thoughtful or considerate about protecting themselves, because they're more likely, more probable to have damaged skin cancer and damage on their skin. That's one factor. So the type of skin that you have. Another factor is the amount applied and the frequency of application. So the FDA recommends that you apply sunscreen 15 minutes before exposure. What happens sometimes is that, let's say you go to the beach and then you wait until you're right before going in the water and you put on the sunscreen. That is not recommended, and that's something that I don't do personally. When I go on a trip or I'm going to the beach or I'm going out, I always put it in my house right before I get to the car. Like in my house, I put it in, I leave the house, and I already have protection on, because from the time you leave your house, when you're in your car, even the light coming through your window, all that's you're already being exposed to sunlight. You should protect yourself from the moment from inside the house before you leave, before you get to your car. You should protect yourself, and that's especially with children. Now, if you're gonna go, like I said, in the water, which is the third factor, if it's water resistant, the FDA does not allow the manufacturers to say on their products that is waterproof or sweat proof. It's water resistant. And if you're going to be in the water, you're going to be sweating a lot, then you have to keep in mind that you have to apply it more often than not, because the sweat and water could dampen, or what is the word that they use, lessens the effect of the sunscreen if you're sweating and if you're wet. So you should apply it from 80 minutes to 2 hours, every 80 minutes to 2 hours. That's what's recommended. And how much should you apply? Well, on your face, what I like to use and what I've seen is, what I've heard is that you get about a quarter size. You measure behind the back of your hand, like about a quarter size, apply it to your face. And if it is your body, according to the research that I found, it should be about an ounce, or about the amount of a golf ball. So it is a lot. Sometimes we don't use as much as we should. It's not just a little bit and spread it around. No, you have to really like put it all over, and every 80 to 2 hours, more or less. So I found some simple tips for sun safety from the American Cancer Society, which I found very interesting, so I'm gonna read them out to you. So first of all, do not use tanning booths, beds, or lamps. These devices do not provide a safer way to tan. No judging, no criticizing, but I never liked them. I'm kind of scared of them. And if you ever seen Final Destination, the movie, I don't know which part it was, 2 or 3. I didn't see 3, so I must have been 2. After I saw that movie, like even less. I don't want to go into tanning booths or tanning beds. Anyways, second tip is that when outdoors, stay in the shade whenever possible, particularly between the times of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. when the sun rays are most intense. Number 3, wear sun protective clothing such as a long sleeve shirt, a wide brimmed hat, and UV protective sunglasses. Number 4, use a broad spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher on all skin that is not covered each day, even on a cloudy day, like I said. Reapply sunscreen every 2 hours or immediately after swimming or sweating, and visit your healthcare professional every year for a skin exam. Another point, and this is not in the research, but this is something that I personally know and I do myself. Don't forget your eyelids and like your nose area, everything, cover everything, but especially don't forget your eyelids, your ears, and also your lips. Now, don't apply sunscreen on your lips. Use lip balms or lip products that have sunscreen and that have protection for your lips as well, especially if you're like sweating, you're in the water, in the beach, or you're rubbing yourself with a towel or whatever. Keep in mind of your lips, because lips are very sensitive and so are the eyelids. So be very, very careful about that. Oh, another tip I wrote, but I already mentioned it, was apply it before getting in the car, like I said. So now I'm going to talk to you briefly, like what sunscreens I like and what sunscreens I use. I'm just gonna mention a few. I'm not gonna mention all the ones that are in the market because that's something you personally should choose and do your own research and find out which is best for you and for your skin. But I'm gonna tell you the ones that I personally have enjoyed very much. So the first one I want to show you is from Biossance, the Squalane and Zinc Sheer Mineral Sunscreen. I forgot to mention that the only two in the physical sunscreens, the only two components that the FDA approves is zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. Let me look at my notes just to make sure I have the wording correctly. I don't want to give you guys wrong information, especially for something so important. Only two types of physical sunscreens have been FDA approved, which is the zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, and both might be good options for your skin type. So if you have more sensitive skin, a mineral sunscreen may be a better choice because it is less likely to cause skin reactions compared to chemical sunscreen. I'm just gonna give you my personal opinion. Here in the USA, we're not too, it is not something that is very studied or very monitored, and I can't forget the word that I'm looking for. These products unfortunately are not as monitored or researched as in other countries. So I always try to go above that and apply more than what the manufacturer says. Here in the US, sunscreen and all that, and even beauty products and makeup and skincare is not as regulated. That's the word I was looking for. Is not as regulated as in other countries. They're more lenient here. So you just have to use common sense and do your own research and see what is best for you and your family. Those are my 5 cents. So going back to what I use, I like this sunscreen. Is a Biossance Squalane and Zinc Sheer Mineral Sunscreen, broad spectrum, SPF 30. So it is a physical sunscreen because it has it's a mineral sunscreen, so right there off the bat you know it is a physical. And what is the SPF on this? Oh, I just said it, oops. It is SPF 30, so I think it's pretty good. It does have like a slight white cast when you put it on. It's not even white, it's like very light beige color, skin color, but it dissipates really quickly and it just leaves my skin really soft. I really do like it. I like this sunscreen. And I recently discovered one from Typology. Biossance is made in, I didn't tell you guys, is made in the USA. Typology is made in France, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, made in France. 6 months shelf life. And the Biossance, it doesn't say the shelf life, or at least I don't see it. Oh, they give you an expiration date on the top. Good. December 2022. And this one says May 2023, but it's 6 months shelf life because I already opened it, so I have 6 months left. But unopened, it's May 2023. That's pretty good. This one does leave more of a white cast than the Biossance ones, but again, it dissipates really quickly, and I really like it because it has aloe vera and it leaves my skin really glowing, really hydrated. I use both under makeup without a problem, and I use it when I use a sunscreen like this and it has SPF and it has aloe vera and other things. Usually I use it as a primer. I don't use anything else, just this. I really do like this sunscreen as well. This is the one I have on now. Another product that I didn't mention in my monologue, but if there's tinted moisturizers that have broad spectrum, and those are good too, because let's say you don't want to wear foundation, you don't want to wear layers and layers of, you know, sunscreen, primer, moisturizer, and everything all together. Maybe you don't want that. You could always use a tinted moisturizer. One that I like is the one from La Mer, is the Radiant Skin Tint Broad Spectrum SPF 30. I have more, but I just want to highlight just one because I don't want this video to be super long either. This is one that I enjoy. It's really nice. And as a primer, I like the Chantecaille Ultra Sun Protection Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 45 primer. This one's really liquidy and you have to shake it, but it's really soft, really dewy, and I like this as well. I try, not always, but I try to find foundations, even if I wear sunscreen or a sunscreen primer, a primer with sunscreen or anything like that. I like to enjoy foundations that have some SPF because extra protection is always welcome. You can never put too much sunscreen. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. I've been thinking about this video for a while. I did some research. I took my time out finding information, sharing the best information that I could find. I'm going to put in the links down below, the 2 sources that I found where I got my information. And I would like to hear from you guys what you think, any extra information you have about sunscreen. Please let me know in the comments below. Let me know as well if you use any of these products or what is your favorite sunscreen? What is your go-to sunscreen, your die-hard sunscreen? I want to thank you for coming by. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.